Welcome. In this video we are going to talk about gel electrophoresis. Now during gel electrophoresis, gel serves as a molecular sieve. Now there are two basic materials which we usually use to make gel, and that are agarose and polyacrylamide. Okay, these two materials are usually used to make gel for gel electrophoresis. Now this agarose is a natural colloid which is extracted from the seaweed. Okay, seaweed is the source of agarose. Now this agarose gels have very large pore size. Okay, the size of the pore of the agarose gel is kind of very large, and that is the reason why this agarose gel is used to separate very large molecules. Okay, those molecules whose molecular weight is greater than 200 kilodalton, that kind of molecules are separated with the help of this agarose gel. Now this agarose is a linear polysaccharide, and it is made up of basic repeat unit known as agarobuyose. Okay, so when agarobuyose polymerizes, you can say, okay, then this polysaccharide agarose is formed. Now this agarobuyose, which is the basic unit of this agarose, is made up of alternating units of galactose and 3,6 and hydrogalactose. Now agarose is used at a concentration of 1 to 3% usually. Okay, the concentration of agarose that we use to make gel is between 1 to 3%. Now the agarose gels are used for the electrophoresis for both of these things, that is proteins as well as nucleic acid. Okay, so for doing electrophoresis of proteins as well as nucleic acid, you can use agarose gel. Now talking about the second type of gel which is also common in gel electrophoresis is polyacrylamide gel. Okay, now this polyacrylamide gel consists of chains of acrylamide monomers which are cross-linked with N-methylene bisacrylamide units. Okay, the cross-linking of both of these things results in the formation of polyacrylamide gel. Now this is the molecular formula for acrylamide, and this is the molecular formula for N-methylene bisacrylamide unit. And we always don't use this huge word while describing this thing. We usually say bis. Okay, so when acrylamide monomers are cross-linked with bis, then that produces your polyacrylamide gel. Now the pore size of this polyacrylamide gel is determined by the total concentration of monomers which are used, that is the total concentration of acrylamide and bis, and the ratio of the acrylamide to bis. Okay, on these two things the pore size of your polyacrylamide gel depends on. Now the polymerization of this acrylamide is to bis solution is initiated by ammonium persulfate. Okay, this chemical is initiating the polymerization of acrylamide and bis in a solution, and the polymerization of this solution of acrylamide and bisacrylamide to form the polyacrylamide gel, that polymerization is catalyzed by TMED. And what is this stands for? It stands for tetramethyl ethylene diamine. Okay, tetramethyl ethylene diamine. This thing is catalyzing the polymerization of acrylamide and bis in the solution, and that is resulting in the formation of polyacrylamide gel, and the polymerization is initiated by ammonium persulfate. So this is your acrylamide, this is your methylene bisacrylamide. Okay, now both of this will combine and will form your polyacrylamide gel in the presence of this persulfate. Okay, so this is how your polyacrylamide gel looks like. Okay, so these two things, that is acrylamide is getting combined with methylene base acrylamide, and that combination, that polymerization is resulting in the formation of this polyacrylamide gel. Now acrylamide is used as a monomer in the polyacrylamide gel formation, and this N-methylene bis acrylamide is a cross-linking agent. So this thing cross-links the acrylamide, and that is how polyacrylamide is formed. Now the reaction of these two agents is initiated by adding ammonium persulfate. So when you add ammonium persulfate in the solution, then the N-methylene bis acrylamide will cross-link your acrylamide, and that will result in the formation of polyacrylamide. Now what does this persulfate do? Well, persulfate forms the sulfate radicals, and then this sulfate radicals then combine your acrylamide with the N-methylene bis acrylamide. Okay, so that is how it is. You add ammonium persulfate, then ammonium persulfate forms sulfate radicals, and then the sulfate radicals combine the acrylamide with the methylene bis acrylamide. Now TMAID is also used as a reagent in this reaction, and it is added to stabilize the sulfate radicals. Okay, so the sulfate radicals are stabilized by TEMAD. Now the size of the pores in the polyacrylamide gel depends upon how much methylene bis acrylamide you have added with respect to acrylamide. Okay, on that thing, on that ratio of the both the component, the pores of the size will depend. If you add more methylene bis acrylamide, then that will result in more cross-linking, and if the cross-linking is more, then the pore size will be small. And on the other hand, if you are adding less methylene bis acrylamide, then the larger pores are produced, as there is considerably less cross-linking, and this also makes a gel less rigid. Okay, so if you are adding less amount of methylene bis acrylamide, then the larger pores will be produced, but the gel will be less rigid, so you have to handle it properly. And if you are adding a large amount of methylene bis acrylamide, then more cross-linking will take place and the pore size will reduce. Now let's see some advantages of using the acrylamide gel. Okay, polyacrylamide gel. Now this polyacrylamide gel has high resolving power for small or moderately sized molecules such as proteins and nucleic acid. Okay, you can resolve molecules up to 1 into 10 raised to 6 Daltons. Okay, that's the limit of the resolving power of this polyacrylamide gel. Now this system accepts considerably large amount of sample size. Okay, that is another advantage. During this process, there is minimum interaction of the migrating molecule with the matrix, and the matrix is that is the reason why the physical stability of the matrix is achieved. Okay, so there is minimum interaction of the migrating molecules with the matrix, and the matrix is that's why physically stable. Now the resolving power and the molecular size range of the gel depends upon the concentration of acrylamide and bis acrylamide used. Okay, so the acrylamide concentration varies from 5% to 25%. The low percentage gels will be able to resolve very high molecular weight molecules. Okay, if you are having molecules that have very high molecular weight and you have to resolve them using gel electrophoresis, then you will prepare a low percentage gel. And if you want to separate, you want to resolve those molecules which have low molecular weight, then you will use high percentage gel. Okay, so low percentage gel for high molecular weight molecules and high percentage gel for low molecular weight molecules. Okay, that is how it is. Now, a standard polyacrylamide gel is formed by the polymerization of 7.5% acrylamide. And by using this standard polyacrylamide gel, you can resolve molecules whose size ranges from 10,000 Dalton to 10 lakh Dalton. Okay, so from 10,000 to 10 lakh Dalton, molecular weight of molecules can be separated by using this standard polyacrylamide gel, and the best resolution occurs between 30,000 Dalton to 3 lakh Dalton. Okay, so if you are using standard polyacrylamide gel, which is formed by the polymerization of 7.5% acrylamide, then you should be using that gel to separate the molecules which have molecular weight in this range, that is from 30,000 Dalton to 3 lakh Dalton. Okay, so that is all for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.